Na'Vi is going to be close enough up with his MAC-10 to get in range of the Deagles, and actually Buster's even rotating to the B bomb site, so Na'Vi is just going to walk out and find a free gift. Ooh, here's Simple. Chance. It's a very narrow corridor for that Deagle. He's a little bit cautious as he falls back, and I think Buster, all of Avangard really realize this round is lost. There's no reason for them to try and rotate over. You save these weapons and you just fight with him in the next round. If you can. Simple wants to take some things away, and so does Na'Vi. Zeus and Electronic pushing through Connector. They want to take these guns out. They don't want to have 2 rounds of danger.
This could backfire though. If a Vanguard can take down some of these guns, they can use it against Na'Vi in the next round. They also want to stop the farming frenzy for the SMGs. Flamey's been smacked down by Quickkurt's Deagle. Simple's waiting as Electronic chimes in with a couple with his MAC-10 and a third. That's money in the bank. It's been costly for Na'Vi. They will lose 1 rifle, I believe, an AK drop down. But at least they take 4 players with them. UMP was safe from Crizin, so all things considered, I don't think a Vanguard will be too bothered about that result.
No, but I don't think Na'Vi will either. Obviously, you'd prefer to have more players step up, but they win the round, they get the most of the cash. Actually, here's the crazy thing. It's going to be another investment from Avangard, which isn't that crazy, but the AWP is going to be out in Jame. AWP is going to be in Simple's hands as well, so it won't be an easy round for Na'Vi, but this could actually put the CT side in a real big hole early on. If Na'Vi can win this, they have a great chance of getting out to 5-0 very quickly on their T side, and that could be disastrous. Buster with the Deagle going to wrap around the smoke. He better not turn this corner completely because Electronic is waiting with open arms.
Especially with so much resting on this round, it would be the worst possible start. A Vanguard would lose and hemorrhage over on the Ivy side. And Buster knows it. He's backing away, but he's already ate some damage.
You want Jame with the AWP to get involved before anyone kind of falls. Flashbang is going to give Buster that last chance to fall away, but some valuable utility used that will run out on the Avangard side. Quickurt inside at the B bomb site, all on his own. Crizin, this is going to be a strong position. Kind of closes down ladder room unless Zeus can clear it out. And it looks like Na'Vi is lining up for a set piece towards this outer bomb site. Eventually they will constrict, and eventually Zeus will need to come down this ladder.
Tossing out the smoke first and foremost. Going to throw the Molotov, an important one at that. It's going to force away Crizin, who's going to smoke down. So that's going to cordon off one of the areas. Just shy of 40 seconds. Na'Vi still need to pinch around. They still need to gain some ground here, because time is dwindling away and no casualties from a Vanguard. This is where the pistols become that much more powerful. In amongst the chaos, the frenzy of trying to get onto the site desperately, and with the bomb in A main, they cannot rotate to the B side. They're going to have to bite down on this fully. Fitch in the smoke to try and hold the line, but now Simple's coming through. Zeus has been found in Pop Dog, and this round is quickly spiraling out of control. They're going to try and regain some of that, though. Edward and Flamey going to be able to get the bomb planted, and now it forces a Vanguard back towards them, but AK-47s have traded hands. There's some grenades also in the hands of a Vanguard, and the force buy will yield the round in the end.
Nice recovery from Avangard, and they can have a double op setup right off the bat. Simple had one as well. I don't know if they realize where it is. Crizin's picked up the op to save over for his team, but that was Na'Vi really telegraphing that play, really telegraphing where they were going to go, and just slow playing it. Avangard was able to rotate in the correct positions. Holding on to ladder room by Crizin was monumental against Zeus. Not enough pressure out teammate, especially with Jame getting that opening pick to force Crizin to turn around. And now that damage in the second round comes into play, Vince. I said Na'Vi didn't mind. Now it hurts a little bit because they had a very strong buy in the last one, so it wasn't the biggest deal. But once they lose that round, it immediately forces a save, even with the extra $800 from that plant.
So you have to say that the risk, the courage that a Vanguard showed, has paid off. Na'Vi into the dungeon of a broken economy. Are going to have a timeout called. I'm assuming this is a technical issue.
Yeah, it's pretty quick into the game to be calling a timeout. I think the only way it would be tactical is if it's Na'Vi, as they are actually going to buy into this. So they might want to talk some things over. Yeah, and I mean, it is a tactical because you can see them speaking. Not allowed to talk during technical pauses. Here we go. Limited utility on this T side. Going against a double op setup. I guess towards the inner bomb site would be a pretty solid option, because you can get in, smoke off the corridors, and if you're able to get a pretty clean opening kill and a plant, all of a sudden those double ops on the retake cannot clear out all the different spots that you can play. But it's a pretty decent risk for Na'Vi for the early stages of this game. Up 2-1. James is going to rotate back. There's the AWP. Quickert and James, Quickert has a Molotov and a smoke to slow things down. James has Molotov and smoke as well, and plenty of flashbang. So if Na'Vi telegraph this too much, Flames are going to hold them back for 7 seconds, and rotation will be able to come in. Crizzen is going to have a fast flank up ladder as well.
Na'Vi making the same kind of courageous call that a Vanguard did, knowing this could really put them on the back foot. And here comes the push. Flashbangs and Molotovs being exchanged. So much damage inflicted to Na'Vi already. And Quickert with the York. Beautiful spray. Gonna drop the bomb out. Third kill for Quickert. And time to just pick that gun up. Electronic has done some damage in amongst it all, but it could be too little too late. Zeus gonna find a second. Does stop Quickert's killing streak, but Vanguard will claim their second round.
Yes, it did take one of the AWPs away, but that was not nearly as impactful as Na'Vi would have liked. And that's the second time they've hit that inner bomb site, you know, together with the pistol round, where they don't send anyone out the upper ramp. They're just sending players down lower and seeing what they can do. That time they wanted to push sidewalk and wrap around towards the bomb site. Quickert waits until 2 have passed before he punishes them. 3 total for him. A very good round, and now Na'Vi is forced to save. They cannot invest in this even if they wanted to. Just a Deagle, a P250 picked up. No utility. But forced away from the buy, and very slow to get out spawn is Zeus. Simple! Oh, I thought he was going to be able to manage that one. He didn't see it before he was fully flashed. Electronic going to press the issue, but can't connect. Fitch survives at 20 HP.
They tried, but just slipped away in the end. Full Glocks remaining for Na'Vi. Bomb dropped out in the open in the Vanguard's sight. And to make matters worse, Quickert's coming in for a close-knit rotation. Finds himself Edward, money in the bank for him. Even if he does lose the UMP, he'd like to upgrade to a rifle, an AUG, something like that anyway. No big deal. Zeus has been found. Only a matter of time before he is put in his place.
He's got 3 players just waiting for him to peek. It's going to be James who finishes him off, so Vanguard take their lead. Their first lead since they were up 3-0 on Dust 2.
That is a good point. And again, they touched on this in the desk. They won both pistols on Dust 2 and only picked up 6 rounds in total. So they're also half of the amount of rounds that they won on Dust 2. And hopefully, from a Vanguard's perspective, they can keep this going forward.
Yeah, they definitely like that, wouldn't they?
Just make this a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, for us too. For all the viewers, for us casting it, we'd like to see a competitive game here. But they've recovered quite nicely on Train, at least early on in this CT side. No AWP out for Na'Vi. AKs across the board. 2-man stack at upper ramp in these box holes for Vanguard. They're going to peek this. James wants to go for it, but it's late. Edward might have the angle. How cautious is James going to be? Ooh, that timing, the information, the footsteps, and James. I'm surprised to see him shy away from that fight.
Yeah, again, it definitely does seem like a different side to a Vanguard, a much more cautious, worried side of them. Quickert, though, going to go for the aggression, and, well, 1-for-1 trade may not be good enough. Na'Vi going to pull the trigger. They're all going to come sprawling out towards the B side. So far, so good, though. James going to hold with the AWP, but Edward's getting up close and personal with his AK-47. He's caught between 2 players, finds them, but only able to get 1. Fitch with his second MP9 kill. And Flamey, you'd have expected him to land that kill. He had the drop on Buster, especially after his Dust 2 performance, but somehow Buster will get the better of him.
That would have been interesting if he could have turned that into a 1-on-1. Decent damage done with 3 kills, but Na'Vi again just forced away. I mean, again, Vanguard's reading Na'Vi pretty well. They did it on Dust 2 a couple times, and here they've rotated perfectly into position. Getting players over here and into the bomb site, and I think Fitch was that X factor, that last extra player. They killed 1, they knew where the op was, they might have figured that was the only thing, but Fitch surprises them.
Quickert on 140 ADR currently. Still pretty early days, but good to see him off to a fantastic start after a poor Dust 2. Buster over 100, Crizzen just shy on 96. Much more promising beginning for the CTs. James gonna break the deadlock once again. This time it's Edward. I believe that was another peek on box halls.
It's good to be saying his name quite frequently in these first 6-7 rounds, because he was very quiet on Dust 2. That's a well-played Molotov and spam from Fitch. Second kill for James. They're going to need him. He's so impactful with that AWP, the way, the kind of fights he likes to take, his aggressive and assertiveness with it when he goes for a peek. And it's weird to say that we didn't see any of that on Dust 2, because we saw it yesterday. And hopefully he can build up to another impactful performance for Avangard, because they need it. Up 3 rounds. They've got a lot of money now as well. That's the tough part for this T side. Now, with Na'Vi struggling to find a round to get on the board again after winning the pistol, or the first 2 rounds, now you have to win 2-3 rounds in a row to take this economy away and get an easy time on the T side. So Na'Vi's gonna have to do a good job of just, you know, when a window of opportunity presents itself, they have to seize it, or else this CT side can just extend a lead that's almost insurmountable going into the second half.
True, that was always the important start for a Vanguard, to get some kind of foundations built upon. But here's Buster. Ooh, was that while jumping?
Yeah, well, that was I think he got it right before he jumped. That was a mouse wheel jump, though, for sure.
That was a jump scare.
Fortunate he gets that kill. He might have gone down if he didn't find it immediately. Bomb dropped down towards T-spawn.
Good news for a Vanguard overall, too, because it keeps their structure of their defense intact, although Buster's made a move away from Ivy. Going to be playing more on the site. Only 31 health, susceptible to HEs.
That's fine as long as the communication is still there, because Fitch and Crizzen were playing close up. Buster on the bomb train. They're just looking for someone they're fine with them peeking Ivy. They're just making sure that they can eliminate them when they come out. The problem always arises if a player forgets that Ivy is this open and you're susceptible from this angle. And it's going to be James who's got to play that game. Manage his attention and his positioning.
Same time, Flashbang's very important on exploding out to A. There's only 1 left. Flamey's been found. Jane lets the first player cross. Waiting, anticipating the re-peek, but decides better of it. And Fitch, close range, gets dispatched. 30 seconds left to try and make a move on the A side. Jane is going to be playing the Pop Dog side of bomb side, trying to get his teammates back into this. And a bit of a stalemate on either side of the train, which of course will favor the CTs. The T's have got to get this bomb planted. Only 15 seconds left. What can Zeus possibly do? He had a pretty good Dust 2 performance, but time is running out. And he knows it. He's trying to save this AK. Finds himself Crizzen. But living on borrowed time. It's only a matter of seconds before he's dealt with. But he does take 2 players on his way out, so at least that's going to force some replenished guns.
Yeah, again, not the worst thing in the world to at least get those 3 kills. But certainly Na'Vi was confused about all the positioning from the defense there. They were in that train yard for so long, and the aggressive stances, the fact that the main force of that attack came from Ivy, they were away from where the defenders were actually positioned, so they just couldn't find anything. You can see the danger of a defense like that, well, and the strengths, really, as we saw Na'Vi confused and unable to find anyone. But also, you know, if players get out mid, James is in an awkward position kind of managing his attention between Ivy and E-Box and T-Choke Point. But also, if the players get out Ivy, the other defenders with the rifles that are close up that Jane can't actually see when they get along that far wall, they can actually peek deep into that outer train yard and eliminate some of those guys. So that strategy is effective, but I mean, it can collapse very quickly with a single mistake.
A T-side on train really is a balancing act. So many times you can get the first pick and start to make a move, but the way it's laid out, you're having to come through choke points, you're having to come up and watch a lot of angles, especially on A. I mean, there's so many nooks and crannies you have to deal with.
And it's, I mean, for both of these teams who we've seen really enjoy kind of force buying in situations, even if they're going to have low utility, this map takes a lot of nades, especially when the ops come out. We saw Avangard play with a double op setup earlier. We see them now with James with an AWP, and he's being effective. You need these smokes, and sometimes you need to be able to pick up the pace and be aggressive even when, you know, it's kind of a scary prospect. Both of these teams played pretty slow on Dust 2. At least this time we are going to see a set piece. This looks like maybe what Na'Vi wanted to do in the last round before a player got picked off. And with the pistols and the SMGs, that could be some aggression. I think maybe actually the call during that timeout, they noticed how Avangard likes to bite on fakes. They're actually running towards the inner bomb site. That kill onto Crizzen was so important. Kaikurt's been pulled out into sidewalk. He's in the open. He does get one. Edward coming through the smoke now. Biding his time, he's gonna hold Connector off. This bomb site is lost, and it's all down to the flank. Electronic's gonna meet them, but he's only got a CZ. He needs this first kill. There's Fitch, he's got it. One more, he knows the footsteps. Can't convert.
2-on-2 now. There is a kit. Smoke and a couple flashbangs on the side of Edward. He's got a smoke of his own, plus the AUG. Simple with a Desert Eagle, but don't take this man lightly, otherwise he will punish you. Smoke onto the side is going to draw Simple out into the open, but importantly, Buster's been dealt with from Edward, and there is Simple through the smoke. Na'Vi will get their first round in a while and pull it back to 6-3.
Little bit of trickery. You gotta love that from Na'Vi. That's a very cool tactic that they just pulled off. And Quickert, I mean, he realized the danger a little bit too late. When he eventually turned back and tried to get into the bomb site, he was caught on sidewalk and he had to commit to a fight that he didn't want. Even taking down one just wasn't enough. Even Edward's positioning in Connector, you could see the defense. They wanted to go that route, but they had to readjust and both go for the flank. 6-3 still in the favor, but here's that window of opportunity I discussed that Na'Vi must seize on this T side. You have a situation where winning this round and Avangard's out of money. They would be crippled economically. Investing into a double op setup, it's not going to be easy, but if Na'Vi can pull this off, they're going to have a very, very nice T side.
Slow peek, gonna be Buster getting the upper hand. Such a significant moment in round 10. Negligible damage on his way out, just 10 from the grenade. Fantastic start for a Vanguard. Edward needs to be careful, he did see the player on box walls.
He might not expect the aggressiveness of the second player though. He definitely doesn't, he's got knife out. This could be the play that really seals this round for the defense. Edward considering the possibility, and he gets taken down anyways. Nice peek. Edward never had any knowledge that it was coming, never even guessed that it was a possibility. The op far back that he spotted signifies that someone's watching that and just does not think there's going to be a second player.
And that's a few rounds in the making as well, because James peeked box walls 2 or 3 times. So at that stage you think, okay, it's just the same thing again, he's going to peek for information and pull back. That push from Quickert is so massive.
I think Na'Vi's going to just decide to save these guns. They have no idea what's happening on the map. They have no information. They've lost 2 players. Simple and Edward have plenty of money for the next round. Save what you have and try again. So, we were hoping for a second map after watching Dust 2 be such a wash in the favor of Na'Vi. This is what you hope for.
It sure is. I mean, one of the downsides, of course, for Vanguard is that they were starting on a T side and never really got rolling for them. Here on the CT side, on Train, where double AWPs and AUGs are so vitally important, they've got a 6-round streak. It was broken by the terrorists, but now broken straight back, putting Na'Vi into a horrific position themselves financially, which, of course, is the reason for that save in round 10. As we move in, because of the save, there's still going to be an AWP, there's still going to be some AKs in play, and a very healthy buy for Na'Vi. So Vanguard, they can't take their foot off the accelerator just yet. But their buy is super solid as well. 3 AUGs and 2 AWPs, I mean, that is the dream on Train.
It really is, isn't it? Not an easy defense to bust through. James is fortunate to get away with that one. Quick shot, fall back. And again, towards the inner bomb site we go. Na'Vi has leaned heavily on this. It hasn't always been successful. It was in the pistol round, and it was on a round where they faked the outer bomb site set piece and caught them in an awkward rotation. But these brute force attacks towards inner have not worked, and part of it is because, again, a very fast rotation. 2 players going to be coming out of Connector already.
Molotov chunks down Flamey so hard, but Zeus finds the head of Fitch, and a second.
Oh dear.
Where has this Zeus been?
I don't know. The second kill he gets, he's not even looking in that direction.
Just finds the head anyway.
They seem distracted by something, but that is a round where it seemed like they had all the answers and just get their attention pulled away. Great job from Zeus. Na'Vi even wanted to fall back. They wanted nothing to do with that B bomb site. It seemed like they were of 2 minds. A couple players falling back, a couple players were way too committed to fall back, but they find all the kills, so Na'Vi turns it back around, goes to the B bomb site. Now they'd love to hunt Buster. And they're going to get him. Great shot from Simple. That was all the way towards T-mid.
Where's this second shot then? There it is. Just flicks across the Jame.
Jame was looking at Connector almost as if the communication was wrong. That it came through that someone was maybe flanking.
I kind of wonder if that's from a previous round. You know, I would think it was Zeus that pushed Connector when they put all those smokes outside and he joined the rest of his team on the B side of the map.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just put some doubts into the back of their minds.
Well, that'll do it. That's tough for Avangard to deal with. Now they're back on the pistols. This is a real chance for Na'Vi. What a turnaround in round 11. Simple with the AWP is going to be patient, waiting far back. Electronics got a job to do. Oh, God. Zeus right... Seems like testicles.
Feels like it would probably be the most painful place to get tased. Definitely wouldn't be signed for that.
I can think of a lot of better places I would rather be tased.
So fair enough. Electronic will let you off for that one. Give you a pass.
4 on 5 for Na'Vi, though. And again, a stack towards the outer site. Avangard's almost daring them to go inner. And they're pretty committed to that. Edward has no stance outside, no information. All 4 players are going to be here in box halls. And yeah, you might as well just go for it.
They'll be taking their sweet time. Of course, as far as they're concerned, it could even be a B stack. So they want to make sure they're molotoving all the trains. Simple on the cross, catches quicker. The AWP that was saved by Flamey, trading hands and used to strong effect. Edward finds Crizzen on the approach. And this round has pretty much been finalized. It's just a matter of Vanguard trying to scurry away with their armor on Fitch.
He'll need that. He's going to be the lowest. Him and Kickert are going to be the lowest on their economy. So whatever you can bring into the next round is lovely, because Fitch is going to need to just buy a rifle. So Na'Vi closes the gap. They've got 5, which is, I mean, it's pretty comfortable for the T side. They're going to be happy with that. They'd obviously love to build upon it in the last few rounds of this half. There's only going to be 3 rounds left after this bomb goes up. They put themselves in a pretty good position, though. Not too many losses in some of these 1 rounds, so they have money built behind them, so they can afford to rebuy, and they should be pretty set in terms of their economy for the last 3 rounds of this half.
Sure. Flamey $7,000. Gonna buy some more nades down to 6K. Simple 5K. Zeus 5.8K, and there is.
Okay, it was in the stomach.
Kill.
He went higher. It was above the belt. We won't find him.
Electronic's still going to be gutted that that happened, but still, they move into this round. 5 rounds already on the T half. A much better showing from a Vanguard, though. It's really in the balance, but with a full buy-in effect from a Vanguard that has came in, it's going to be lacking any kits, going to be lacking a few grenades, and a UMP for quicker. We've already seen that you can use it on the rotations, on the flanks. But can he do it against armor? That was a pistol round that he quelled by himself.
Here we go, Edward going to lead the way. Simple flashing for him. There it is. That's to blind Kickert on that ramp. No one was peeking, though, and obviously they've encountered a lot of aggression from Jame with the AWP a number of rounds. I'm just astounded by how Avangard just rotating no matter what's happening. Like, the first sign of trouble, they've got 3 players in the B bomb site, and that's why that fake that Na'Vi ran a few rounds back was so effective.
Maybe it plays into what we were kind of looking into when it comes to fear, or a little bit of doubt or worry.
I think it's just how they play the game, I'm going to be honest, because they did this similar thing against FaZe as well. Remember, FaZe had that fake round that worked so beautifully. They pulled them all out of the A bomb site, and Avangard won a brilliant 5-on-5 retake that pretty much decided the map. Which makes, I mean, it just makes them so susceptible to fakes. Especially if teams are going to start looking into them. They are still relatively unknown quantity, as they've talked about it in a number of interviews. I think people are going to respect them a lot more after this major. Jame, he's zoned in, and Scope, oh, the jump from Edward, that's brutal. Nice job in the secondary up on Buster. No idea someone's above him. Reduced visibility when scoped in. And this defense is about to fall apart. Electronic surely going to get that kill.
And again, Quicker looking to flank with the UMP. Really had no other option. Probably just going to have to try and save it. See if he can maybe upgrade to an AK-47, but the bulk of this round is over. Na'Vi sail on to a 6th round. Quickert does have a fair amount of equipment value at his disposal. Could get this kill long range on Flamey, who is very low. Surprisingly goes for the peak. When all the rest of his team are very healthy, but Simple, mid-air, smacks the head off of Quickert and will get the round done.
He blinded himself as well. So that's a big oof.
Wanted to play on hard mode, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, playing against the best player in the world and a Flamey who's been phenomenal, and Electronic is you're already on hard mode. Maybe he's looking for Nightmare mode.
Wouldn't advise it.
No, Nightmare mode's the worst.
They tried that on Dust too, and it didn't work out too well for them.
Here we go, 6-7. Na'Vi have closed this gap. They figured it out. 4 of the last 5 rounds going the way of the offense. Simple now with the op. And this is where he can get really deadly, because you can see, oh my lord. I was going to say, much more aggressive plays from Avangard. Seems like they're feeling the pressure of being down so much in map 2. Have to go for something. I thought Simple would surely win that, but a great shot from Quickert.
The pocket rocket. Deagle's going to come in with a 2nd and a 3rd. How are Na'Vi potentially losing this round? That is unbelievable. Is Buster able to claim another? No. Some sanity has been restored. But at the cost of 3 lives, Flamey brings it back. Quickert's peak. A little bit of a head scratcher when they're in such a good position.
Oh dear. Oh dear, that play from Fitch. Now a 2-on-2. It's been taken away from them so quick, but the tough part is Na'Vi is still so split across the map. James towards the inner bomb site, where they last spotted the bomb. Crizzen. Surely he doesn't come up above the ladder. This SMG could be brutal if Edward makes one misstep, one mistake. Still plenty of time for Na'Vi, and you have to like this decision. Edward and Flamey both backing off their respective positions, where they found 3 kills to equalize into a 2-on-2. And they can go wherever they want together. 30 seconds left. It's really only option is this A bomb site. They've just got to go out team mid together. These AKs are going to provide a lot of range. Avangard, Crizzen, and James have not been able to salvage any weapons.
Yeah, and there's head armor on both Na'Vi players, so James pretty much useless at this stage, and his teammate's gone down. Na'Vi with a collective sigh of relief. Nearly a nightmare round. James going to be able to get into position on Pop Dog at the very least, but he was never really going to be in with a hope with a USP and no armor.
2-on-5 and 5 straight kills for the Na'Vi players. They couldn't find the AWP, but there's so much money on Edward, and it's the last round, so who cares? Avangard's going to buy whatever they can. Op on James is dropped over. 2 AUGs in play. SMG on Crizzen. Famas on Buster. It's going to be light on utility. Decent amount of utility, but not great. No kits is the tough part.
Yeah, the lack of kits could be a real issue, a real nuisance for Vanguard, as Na'Vi planted the bomb a few times. Most of these rounds have come off the back of just Collings, though, really, on the side of Na'Vi when they've won. Fitch gonna have a quick peek down towards A main. No one's home. Goes for the preemptive spray through the wall. Edward sees the bullets just in front of him. He's like, nah, I think I'll just wait. Bullet holes all around him, but he's okay. 3 players strong on Ivy, though. That smoke's going to do a good job of holding Na'Vi back for the time being.
It really will delay things. That's the brunt of their attack. Most of their manpower is lined up here. But what an adjustment out of the defense. They all decide to go away from Ivy. Push up towards the choke points. Crizzen has been in ladder room pretty much all half. He's been comfortable. James is going to get an angle deep in towards T-mid with the op. It's Buster with a FAMAS. Not the weapon you necessarily want to defend with. Not the most powerful. Plenty of chances for Na'Vi to break into this outer yard from Ivy. And as soon as that happens, it's pretty much all over. Here we go. Electronic going to lead the way. Smoke in his face. James is now rotating back. There's the peek, and Buster's going to get one. James still alive on the bomb train.
Just 25 seconds to hold on, but Simple's going to find him. Thins out the herd on A. Judging from the 2 players on B, this has just gone horribly wrong now for Vanguard. This round looked like it was in the palm of their hands. Still, Fitch comes out swinging, lands the headshot. Not much health on Edward, but makes each and every one of the 24 count. And now Fitch with a nightmare situation of trying to clutch a 1-on-3. Otherwise, Vanguard will be trailing 8-7 at half-time. And there's Zeus, drive-by headshot. Cheeky. Na'Vi pick it up, though. They do bounce back.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was going to be a solid defensive stand for Avangard to start this second map. It looked like they were doing everything right. But then right at the end, 6 of the last 7 rounds go to Na'Vi, and they have a lead going into the second half. We're going to go to a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Riverside. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye, and whatever you did to make it stop. Baby, you make me feel something.
Welcome back to IEM Katowice. Second half between Na'Vi and Avangard about to begin. Na'Vi with a 1-round lead, but they're heading into the defensive side. That's often considered the easier side. They're 1 half away from making the top 8 of another major, 1 half away from continuing on and trying to find that elusive major trophy for the best player in the world.
Here's a stat to back up what you said about the CT side being easier, and I give full credit to Pimp for this tweet that he made. Avangard lead the opening kills 13-2, yet they lost the first half 7-8.
That is crazy. That is madness that they won that many opening duels. Now that I think about it, it did seem to be relatively frequent that they got that first kill. Everyone towards that inner bomb site. Very similar to Na'Vi's Pistron. Zeus is being very aggressive in finding information, and Simple, you know he's not going to back away from a fight. Molotov and Smoke. Edward is here as well, far back.
Haven't pushed just yet, though. That could mean that Na'Vi start to move away Simple from this B side, but he's going to stay there. He's just moving on to Catwalk, a different angle, making sure that Boxhalls doesn't get pushed from the upper side.
He's going to stick around. It might pull Edward away, this silence, this third player. But Simple and Zeus seem pretty dedicated, especially Zeus with that CZ and a nade. I don't think Avangard is going to back off this inner hit, though. They have 3 players in box halls. They can't possibly attack outside with just Buster and Kickert. I think Kickert is designed for some kind of a fake, but he must get a kill. His presence alone is not going to pull Na'Vi off. They are not that jumpy on the rotations the way Avangard was in the first half.
Nade chunks Crizzen. How many players, if any, can quicker get out in position? The answer is none. Edward actually now is more binding down on the B side because no one was following up Quicket. So not only is this fake not worked, it's actually hampered Vanguard even more. They're going to need to swing out with some kills, and Fitch is the first one. He extinguishes Edward. Zeus actually coming out second best on that encounter with a CZ close range. You expect him to win, and the opening picks once again going the way of Vanguard. It's going to yield a bomb plant and should be the round on top of it. Flamey's in a 1-on-3. He's being tagged down into submission. And he will be picked off finally. A Vanguard get their second pistol and ties back up.
It seems like finding the opening kills is almost a curse in this game so far. Electronic gets that opening, and Navi's still not able to convert it, despite the fact, you were right, that one player actually, Simple did kind of rotate way more than I thought. He was over in connector, stuck behind that smoke. Some great shots from Avangard to get into the site. That's a good battle to win by Fitch onto Simple. That was actually kind of a cool strategy. It seemed like they sent Kickard out on that fake out T-mid, and if he got that kill, Buster was above the ladder with the bomb. They could have chosen to relocate outside if they thought that was going to be the better one, but once he falls with no production, to the inner bomb site we go. Another pistol won by Avangard that ties things up. Simple wants the shot. He stands in the flames. 40 HP in damage he takes, but he gives a whole lot more.
Yeah, more than double. 89 off Quicker with that scout shot. Electronic now with a smoke in his hands. Realizes that if he gets peeked, he's a dead man. Did he just see a play around the corner there? Well, he's definitely heard the noise now, at least.
2 tags by Simple, softening him up for this 5-7 from Flamey. That smoke is too deep. They're already past it. He doesn't realize it, but that damage done by Simple is going to help out. He wants to go for that fight. He's got one. If he swings, he's got another, and there it is. That's the bomb. The smoke holding Jame back. Oh, this is a disaster for Avangard. They have to recover somehow as Edward adds on top of it, but they're so low.
Yeah, I don't think they can recover, Jason. Collectively, they've got 38 health and a 2-on-4. The bomb also in such a bad position outside Ivy.
And Edward's now pushing even further. He's heading down these stairs behind them towards T-spawn. Jame looking at it for the moment, but his attention's going to be dragged so many different places, and if Edward just pauses here, he can be patient. Oof.
Goes in for the kill. That's an AK-47 picked up for the CTs. Will you have to take it up the round? Yes. Quicker with his UMP will not get it done, and Na'Vi bounce back with authority. 2 scouts, a few upgraded pistols is going to do the job.
Oh, that scout from Simple was so brutal. The first tag towards Inner, the follow-up towards Ivy, and that's just an easy cleanup for Flamey. I think this first kill is done by Electronic with his help. Excuse me, Electronic was the one over there. My bad. But yeah, both those kills coming out was massive. 9-8, Na'Vi regained the lead.
And the statistic of opening picks is going to be a whole lot harder when you're on the T side. You're going to have to create the chances, not sit there and wait for them to present themselves to you. So the trend of how this map has been going may very well turn against the Vanguard. With a full investment, with just a flashbang to play with, they are hoping to find something, and they nearly did onto Zeus. He's been tagged down heavily. Electronic does pick up the first kill, though, and they're Simple. It's looking like the round is going to come to an abrupt end.
Ooh, an awkward moment for Electronic as he backs away, but Edward up close bails him out when Jame tries to get aggressive. He thought he had an opportunity to pounce. It's just Buster. That's a full investment in this round for Avangard, so Na'Vi's going to be at double digits, up 10-8, and they're going to have full control of the money and the map and the series.
Buster cannot get anything going his way. Electronic will pick up yet another one. 2 in the round. Na'Vi get a 2-round lead. A Vanguard into a save. And to make matters worse, Jame the AWP down to $1,600. So it's going to be a while before he can get one.
Oh yeah, they're going to have to start this win streak, and they're going to have to do it quickly, and they probably won't have that piece of weaponry. And the tough part is, because the money is so low, they can't even invest in this round. They can't get any utility, any of those deagles or pistols that they had to try and take a kill and try and find a way into a bomb site to get the extra bonus money. And that's what's really going to limit that AWP from coming out until it might be too late. Especially in this round, as long as there's not a catastrophic failure or mistake from Na'Vi, they should be able to clean this up with relatively no damage.
Electronic again, just shoulder peeking. So I think only one player, but In a round like this, when you know their economy is low, it likely will be a stack. With just Quicker waiting for a rotation. Zeus did this in the previous round, so if he goes for it again, the Zeus may be used against him. Simple and Flamey, though, standing tall, delivering headshots left and right. It's only headshots. And Flamey will spoil that sequence, but he gets a 4K. And he was the player that was on 120 ADR on Dust 2. He is continuing to apply that pressure.
I think they got baited by the fact that he was spamming that smoke and they heard the reload start and kind of jumped through the smoke, but Flamey waited until his teammate came up to meet with him. And the AUG just demolished everyone, or Electronic waited until Flamey was there with him.
Yeah, it's always the danger of stacking all 5 players in a poor buy in Ivy. It's pretty hard to miss through those smokes.
Yeah, it's a very narrow corridor, isn't it? There's Simple with an opening win, fast paced by Kickert, and Buster's going to challenge next, and he's going to lose that as well. So Disaster strikes again. Very little utility to recover in this scenario. That might be the only benefit. Flamey, no idea they're out mid, and he gets caught falling off the train. A long way for him to fall, but Fitch equally is caught with the nade in his hand, and Electronic blinds himself. So this isn't the prettiest of Counter-Strike, but still a massive advantage for Na'Vi. Electronic's going to get pushed from Ivy. Big win for Edward, and James is in a 1-on-3. They know exactly where he is. Edward and Simple going to guard this choke point while Zeus pushes into T-mid to cover that, just in case he were to fall back.
For respect, he went for a bit of a Hail Mary play, trying to do the unexpected, pushing through the smoke. I mean, at that stage, his options aren't exactly plentiful. But in doing so, Na'Vi will extend to a 4-round lead now. And any of the jitters of losing that second pistol have been put to bed.
Yeah, that immediate response was nice. And I mean, Avangard needed that kind of head start in the second half. They needed to keep control of the economy if they wanted to come back in this T-half. So much to ask for them to win 9 rounds, and this one might just kind of fade away. We wanted some sizzle. I don't know if it's going to happen. Avangard have very few chances left to get involved in this match, and obviously the CT side on Trade is just so strong. Especially once you get the AUG out on Electronic, and you have Edward and Zeus on AK-47s as well. There's nothing easy to be done for Avangard moving forward.
Well, Vanguard won't be silenced in this round, at least not to start things off. Zeus instantly gets headshot. Beautiful entry work by Quickert, who doubles up with the AWP. Electronic and Simple scratching their heads, wondering how the hell that just happened.
I think Flamey, Edward, and Zeus might be wondering how that happened as well. Nice shots with the Deagle. Spectacular shots. Will this be enough? There's still some time for Na'Vi to recover, especially with Simple involved. He's been so quiet, they have no idea. Oh, I think he wanted to hold his trigger. I think he was looking for more, and he just kind of, unfortunately, blew it. There's almost 2 kills, a third over by Connector, and he just didn't spot Buster in time. Even Electronic going to come for this at least early on. He's going to get caught as he comes through the smoke by Fitch. It is a round win for Avangard, and it's a lot to ask for Na'Vi to come back in that round. They need to build, though. Still no reason to be excited just yet. Plenty of money on the Na'Vi side.
Yeah, it did kind of seem, here's the entries, though. I kind of don't want to talk over this.
This shot.
Point. This is the one on Zeus. Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
Zeus even had the jump, because usually there's just one defender spotting for information, and they kind of baited Avangard into that hit. Still comes out on top.
Can see the frustration. I mean, why not? He had such a good performance in Dust 2. Imagine if they let this one slip. He'd be devastated. Yeah, we saw that from Zeus's perspective. I didn't realize that Quickert flicked across that much to the head. I thought he was almost pre-aiming the angle. It seemed like it. So even more respect for that shot. Krizin, Molotov down, going to use the smoke. 2 separate angles. And a great push by Na'Vi. Fighting fire with fire, aggression, ruthlessly shoved in the face of Avangard.
And now there's a decision to make for the T side. Do they want to spend time going back and regaining control of T mid? They have to be careful that there would be people there. It is a double up setup. Simple and Flamey have those. Flamey peering towards Ivy from the middle of the outer bomb site. Edward at E-box. This outer bomb site is so well covered at the moment.
Unfortunately, Molotov will extinguish, but Electronic's going to make a move anyway. Will that bait Avangard into a false sense of security, I wonder? Well, it doesn't matter, because he's going to decide to dip out of that. Now it's Avangard's turn to apply some pressure on Ivy. Electronic has been very good from this angle. The 5-7, of course, yielding a couple of kills earlier when things were looking a bit sketchy. Flamey elsewhere is going to chip in with a kill. That turns the attention of Fitch elsewhere, and Electronic can strike. And that's the round pretty much tied up.
Feels like these T-sides on Dust 2 and here, Avangard hasn't really gone for any kind of like real attack. They're trying to be like clever or sneaky to get into positions. You can see that smoke to block off the outer bomb yard and then just kind of walking out with your back turned to the other angle. You're just kind of hoping and praying that no one is there and you'll be able to get this really advanced position that can backstab.
It does feel like Avangard are almost neutering themselves. Like, your strength is you have insanely talented players. We've already seen from Quickut's perspective some nutty entry frags.
Yes.
You had crazy entry frag statistics on the first half, and yet you're still playing slow and kind of into the hands of Na'Vi.
Yeah, which is weird. It seems like they have some, like everyone kind of has like a weight around their neck that's slowing them down.
And sure, they have another best of 3 if they lose this, which it looks likely that they may. But maybe they're just choking a little bit in terms of, well, we could be qualifying right now. We could get ourselves to the top 8 right this second. A bit of nerves come in. Either way, whichever the reason for why things aren't working out for them, they are 13-9 behind after losing the first map. 16-6 with both pistol round wins. They've actually won 3 out of 4 pistol rounds in this best of 3. Ooh, bit of damage across to Jame, and there goes the push for Edward. He's going to get 2. Locking down Boxhalls all by himself. Buster's going to counteract with 1 kill, but I don't think he realizes 2 players could be pushing him here. Simple's behind Edward. In they come. Are they going to push in without a flash? Yes, they are, and that could be to their detriment. Buster is still holding the angle, to be fair to him, and Simple now on a 1-on-2.
This is where he shines, though. Not this time. Nice job from Buster. 3 headshots. Na'Vi gained the advantage on that kind of aggression, and they wanted to force the issue. So still not out of it just yet, and still with the chance to come back in this game. This is starting to get doable because they've brought Na'Vi pretty low. I mean, Na'Vi, I would imagine, is going to buy here. 3 players can get whatever they want. So you imagine they'll invest, but if Avangard wins that one, then we have a game on our hands. Then all of a sudden, down the stretch, it's neck and neck. We're going to get a timeout as I think Na'Vi talks it over.
Indeed, we shall, realizing the importance of this round on Na'Vi. Do they go in? 2 players will be pretty low on funds. You can see they're Electronic and Flamey, but the decision has been made. They will be buying in this round. So Flamey's going to get an AWP drop to him. Simple has 1 additionally. Flamey drops his for Master Edward. This means no kits though, unless Zeus picks one up.
He should. He's got 1,200.
Please, Zeus, don't do this to me. Zeus.
He's doing it for the memes.
Oh, Ricky did this yesterday. Complexity versus NRG. I was so triggered.
Did it tilt you off the face of the earth?
It did, because now if it comes down to the wire, Zeus has $1,200 in a really important round.
Yeah.
This could be the difference between a round win and loss.
Ooh, that's a nice shot from Jame with the run boost. Simple goes down. Smoke is going to cover it up. Electronic is dropped. This is what I was talking about with Jame. It took so long to finally see it, but Flamey with the AWP. Holding it down. Edward's got 1 as well, but Jame has made his way all the way towards Old Bomb, and Zeus is not going to expect this on the rotation. A missed shot at a narrow angle. He's got out of there so fast. But Navi's under a lot of pressure. The bomb is back towards Team Mid, so Buster has to back away, and I cannot believe Zeus is like running the gauntlet.
He is daring Jame to kill him. He's got a death wish. That's the only thing I can think of, and now he's going to push him. Close range. Jame round the corner. Going to be found by Zeus. Well played in the end by Zeus, but it's going to be down to him and a 1-on-2. Crizant and Buster have smoked off connector, and the bomb going to traverse across to the A side.
It's taken us almost 50 rounds of play to see Jame do that. That's what we were looking for, and look at what it's allowed his teammates to do. It causes so much chaos that the CTs simply have no idea where the other players of Avangard are. They're so concentrated on dealing with how crazy he's playing that they lose track of everything else. Zeus able to win that, but he's so low. And again, that kit comes into play right now. It might just affect his decision. I think he's just going to pick up the AWP and save. Might be the low HP that's done it, but certainly the kit, not having one of those is a deciding factor as well. And Buster runs past the bomb. He needs to pick up his teammate's AWP. You saw how much work James did with it to provide the openings necessary. 13-11, and that's it. Finally, Avangard, they waited for that opportunity for so long, and now that they are able to seize it and destroy, decimate the economy of Na'Vi, they have a real chance at tying this up. Maybe even taking the lead down the stretch. Round 25 is upon us. It's 11-13 in the favor of Na'Vi, but they have no money. Just one AWP in play. That's on Simple. They're actually going to force up around it.
And this is James' aggression coming into play. So it's a run boost to start things off. And then obviously got 2 kills after that, pushing through on the Ivy side.
Where has that been this whole series?
It's a fair question, because we saw him doing it against FaZe, and he was dominating them.
Oh, Na'Vi have such a good read. Electronic and Edward can fly up the ladder very quick on the flank. Simple is rotated over. He'll probably get smoked off. Zeus on top of the train with an M4. And Avangard can't even properly throw a fake if they wanted to because of Electronic being in ladder room.
Quicket made some noise, keeping Electronic interested. James, in the meanwhile, similar position to where he was super aggressive last round in Ivy. Could be cognizant of this Na'Vi in the back of their minds. He is starting to slowly but surely snake his way up Ivy now. And Flamey with his scouts not going to have too much firepower to repel him, but now he's going to draw himself back. He's making a move towards T-spawn. It's a very slow round by a Vanguard. They need to make sure they don't stall this too long, because if they do, they could walk into this pistol, they could walk into this M4 wielded by Zeus, as they have just done, and things can get so sketchy. Electronic in prime position to strike if they come down Pop Dog. The CZ tailor-made for these kind of angles with a double stack. They line up for him. He's not able to get 2, but the information will come through. 20 seconds left. Flamey plucks out Quicket in midair. And the time is so low that realistically, what can Crizzen do? Nothing. Simple doubles up. And the Vanguard have just shot themselves in both feet.
That's a really disappointing round to watch after Avangard give themselves an opportunity to get back into this map, and that's what's brought out. Sending one player to the inner bomb site to die, no backup, no real commitment, and then dropping 2 down ladder into smoke. Bleeding players the whole way, and again, after such a cool round from James, after the aggression finally showed itself, they get passive and tentative again. Doesn't really feel like Avangard have actually executed anything. It's just kind of like they're forced into committing to something because they've simply lost too many players and there's no other options towards the end of some of these rounds.
Perhaps showing too much respect across the Na'Vi, not having enough faith in their own ability. It does seem like a very scrappy T-half now on train alongside Dust 2. Molotov not going to extend to Crizzen, so he can keep watching the angle in case they push. Just actually, the last tick gets him down to 62. A bit unfortunate there. And in terms of Na'Vi here, Moses, they don't need to budge an inch. Their setup is pretty locked in. And to make matters better, Flamey's found one. Information gathered, and a second. If he crosses, could be a third. No, decent headshot by Buster. And they've actually equalized in terms of manpower in this round. Of Vanguard gonna start to whittle away at Na'Vi's armory.
I think Electronic must have saw something. Simple definitely saw Buster, but Electronic is waiting this whole time. He knew it was going to be a fake. I think he heard Crizzen, might have actually done some damage. Crizzen down at 12. That was from his teammate. Didn't know he was that deep. The AWP on Simple, but Zeus is the next man up, and low HP, this could do it. If he gets aggressive, forces them into the arms of Simple, it's exactly what happens. And there's the follow-up with a USP. Doesn't even need the AWP at that range. A triple kill. Simple sends Avangard packing. They do get a plant. And they're going to have a 2-round losing bonus. That's not going to be a whole lot of money. That's not going to be anything they're happy with.
No, low to mid $3,000. Couple players dipped below that, so only one AK-47. Crizzen can maybe go for one. A sawn-off shotgun for Jane. That is a weapon you don't see too often.
If it's the Kraken skin, I can understand it. Then it might be able to do something.
Otherwise, get in the bin.
Yeah, otherwise, that's not going to do much at all.
Crizzen's gone for a Galil, but it means he's only going to have the one smoke to play with. And this is scraping the very bottom of the barrel for Vanguard to save themselves. Not their tournament life. They would be going down into the 2-2.
Oh, there's no skin on that.
There's no skin at all.
It's not going to do anything.
Why have you done this to us, James?
It's not even worth the purchase.
Just throw it away, mate.
You don't even get a look at the octopus tentacles.
My mind went to strange places there, but...
It would.
Vanguard, meanwhile, going to be backing away towards teammate.
Keep it together, Vince.
I'm trying.
One more round. Simple looking for, you can boost in that ladder room. If you've never seen that before on the T side, you can boost in to appear on top of the trains and maybe pick off Edward's position, but Simple looking exactly for that play. This is the last round, potentially, of the map and the series. Someone from Avangard is going to have to show some balls.
Yeah, I think especially in this round, right? I mean, you know the pressure's kind of off. No one really expects you to win this. Electronic is the player to show courage, though, and he's going to be rewarded with 2, nearly a third kill. Down to 89, Jame will fall. Only one smoke to play with. They're outnumbered, they're outgunned. And they are being found by Simple's AWP.
Fair play, Jame got a kill.
But he's going to need 4 more.
This is going to be it. So Na'Vi is going to make it to the top 8. Congratulations to them. A lot of question marks upon what they were going to look like coming into this event. I don't think Flamey saw that, so actually James going to get a... Oh,
there you go.
Nice. Some honor is regained. Not enough, unfortunately. Edward's going to end things. Nice performance from Na'Vi in this second map. Edward at 23 kills, Simple at 22, Electronic at 20, but that second half, it didn't feel like they were really tested. So Na'Vi's able to walk into the top 8 of IEM Katowice. Avangard is not eliminated. They will be playing tomorrow another series to determine if they move on or are eliminated. They'll have one more chance to make it, but it won't do it looking like that. They need to really talk things over tonight. Congratulations to Na'Vi. A team huddle. As they talk things over, they're going to be happy, they're going to be celebratory. We'll see them next week. We're also going to be seeing the boys on the desk. We're going to send it over to them.
That's right, Swiss round 4 continuing on now, and Nadas Vincere coming out on top. It appears though this team with 2-1 record going into this one will find that third and coveted win, which will in fact put them into the top 8 here at the major Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. What a ride it's been to watch this here Na'Vi thing.
Yeah, that felt like a very comfortable victory, right? Especially on train. It didn't really feel like they were in threat at all. I think, you know, Avangard might have to go back and look at the map that they chose to start on with Dust 2. I feel if they just went to Overpass or even Mirage, those are maps that they could have taken a decent fight to the side of Nadas Vincere.
I definitely agree. I think it was a very strong showing by Na'Vi coming into this one, especially after the match yesterday against Liquid. They were being manhandled by the Liquid boys. So coming in today and seeing them bounce back is a good sign. That said, though, I feel Avangard really dropped the ball here on Train in particular. They had so many options to get more rounds. They had, after the first half, I think I put out a tweet where they were leading 13